Hey Kate, here's some video analysis of your paddling at the dam chute. Apologies that parts of it are blurry. Hopefully this is useful to you. Really nice entry angle here. Gives you a relatively tight turn to the eddy line, which sets you up well for the next move. And some nice visible torso engagement. What I would encourage you to work on there is to see if you can't have that torso engagement be a twist to reach forward. If we watch this, it looks to me like you're bobbing forward and then bobbing back. Not as much of a twist there. And even right here, I would say your chin is moving back towards your tailbone. Nice, smooth maneuver on a bow draw. Something you could experiment with and like watch how it plays out in your instructor candidates is to drive your hips into the eddy before initiating the bow draw. Now, it's a little bit less what you set up for them of like, don't go too deep in the eddy. But I think what you may find is that that bow draw turned into a forward stroke from deep in the eddy can actually allow you to accelerate. I think as we watch this turn, you end up in a little bit of a skid where your stern is sliding in behind you, and you might actually end up further down the eddy than you need to be. Let's watch. So right there, you can see how you have some downriver progress with your stern facing downstream. And while you get exactly where you want to go, I think some modeling that could be really awesome is to have your hips go deeper into the eddy, then bow draw, and then accelerate out of this eddy rather than skidding to a stop. Let's watch where it goes from here. Some really nice targeting of your next eddy with your eyes here. Acceleration stroke on the outside, a little bit of a stern draw correction or a repeated stroke on the downstream side. That is very effective. Just curious about torso engagement there. So watch that life jacket panel. Yeah, much nicer twist on the reach there. I think you could accentuate that even more. And that bow draw, I would say that catches right as your hips enter the calm water. Gives you a nice clean turn without bumping into the rocks. When we watch my video later, you'll see more of a bump into the rocks. Ooh, look at that beautiful little momentary target of your next eddy. Really great modeling there. Oh, and I love this sequence. So here you are, hips in the eddy. You catch on a stern draw. That hand comes nice and high, sending your blade deep, and then initiates the beginning of a slice forward to a bow draw. So you don't just ferry across that current, and that turns into a forward stroke. Some things to look for in this next sequence, the next few strokes. Can you get more visible torso twist? You're paddling down river to engage some downstream momentum and straighten out. You have some torso engagement there, but it's mostly on a lean. Let's look at where your chin lines up. Seems like that is chin over mid-thigh. I think you could have chin over seat, more there, and engage just a little bit of twist forward to generate that reach in that moment. From there, really nice entry angle here. Nice engagement of tilt as you hit this foam pile. Your head is over your seat right now. A little bit of a lean forward, but I think that's actually really good in this circumstance where you actually want to weight your bow as it comes into the eddy. I think it takes a little while for you to get your blade fully into the water. Blade is fully in the water there. I'd love to see your hips just a little further in the current before initiating that bow draw turn, because the way that you're doing it, you're boat is actually traveling a little bit that way on a skid, and it could be traveling that way on a carve if you initiate your hips into the current and then bow draw. Some nice acceleration strokes, vertical paddle shaft. I am seeing some nice twist to the torso here as your primary form of engagement, especially on this stern draw. Something to think about on this stern draw, the side slip maneuver, or just a stern draw where your top hand is a little more up and back, would have you catching active current here rather than stern drawing in the eddy. So if that were at your hip with a power face open to the current, that would draw you across in the same way. That could then be sliced forward to a bow draw if you had too much of a glide and were like ferrying across. As it is, you repeat a stroke here. That's also very effective. Nice switch of your edge. Forward stroke on the inside of the turn. And we're done. Nice.